Manchester United 2, Brighton 0. Ronaldo's goal drought is ended. Manchester United have won. We've got a clean sheet. Other than scoring from a corner, we vanquished a few demons tonight, didn't we? It was a bit lucky. We were a bit shit. We'll get into it. I'm joined by Ryan Opera. How you doing, mate?
Very well, mate. Very well.
Finally, when's the last time you were on a watch-along when we actually won? It's been a while, hasn't it?
I can't even remember, mate, to be honest.
And Jordan's here as well. How you doing? How you feeling after that?
I'm better after that, but I don't want to give them too much praise because I'm still a bit. No, come on.
No.
There's still a few bits that we'll get into in a little bit.
Yeah.
Still need to change.
Yeah.
For me and probably for the majority of us as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Happy we got the win though because it was a must-win game. That puts us into fourth somehow.
Yeah.
So.
United fourth. The telly went off when you changed that cam, so can you try and sort that, please? Get your comments in, get your thoughts on that game. Manchester United winning. 10 men of Brighton still causing United some problems in that game. But let's sort of go through it a little bit because the first half, not that I want to start with a downer. I've mentioned the goals. We'll get back to that in a minute. But we were not good in that first half, were we? In Brighton, 60% possession, more shots than us, more shots on target than us, more chances created than United. We look like a mid-table team, and they look like one of the biggest teams in Europe playing at home. The roles were almost reversed, weren't they?
Yeah, no, we touched on it on the watch along. I think they had more shots, more possession. I think they had the intensity. They was being proactive in the pressing. I think they was making it really difficult for us. I think we was the total opposite. I think our pressing was non-existent in the first half. If we was pressing, it was in ones and was getting popped, and it was too deep, and it wasn't very good. We shown signs, that was decent, but overall, you can't be happy with the first half. The fans wasn't happy with the first half. They're booing and just making it, difficult, and they're not happy, and we wasn't happy. And I think it took until the goal to really start the press, and what the manager's been wanting him to do through all the game, and for the games that he's been in, really pressing with the intensity and reacting off things, first balls, second balls. It was a lot better, and then it went shit again after that.
It was a lethargic kind of laboured first half, wasn't it? They had a few chances. De Gea with a fantastic save from I can't remember whose header it was now, but brilliant save from that header. First half, United had basically one chance, was the Sancho one. But like Ryan said, it until the goal went in, United weren't good enough, were they?
No, and it was very obvious to see that because there were so many instances where we were missing the second, third, fourth, fifth ball. Frustration in the middle of the park because no one's tracking back properly. We saw both the full-backs go up, Shaw and Dello, but people weren't wanting to get back, especially when Brighton knew that we were going to be playing a pressing game. But we weren't even doing it properly in the first half. So then they started playing a pressing game and caused us into mistakes. Whenever we then decided, oh shit, we need to start pressing now, they'd pass through it. And they were actually very good in the first half in terms of getting out, especially on that left-hand side with the full-back Cucurella and McAllister and Trossard, especially down that left-hand side. They got out so many times from our press, and I think it frustrated us all. And we saw it at half-time. The boos were literally warranted for the performance that they put out in the first half because apart from that one chance that Sancho had, which he should be doing better for me and for a lot of us, I think, it wasn't great view in the first half, was it?
First half was poor. And I'm personally not generally one to boo, to be honest, but I can see why people were mad enough to boo. So Francie Brady kind of puts, kind of sums it up a little bit. We weren't very good, or we were poo. Holding on injury time against 10 men Brighton, that red card was very harsh. Let's get into the second half then, because first half, we've mentioned it, we had a chance, they had a chance, they controlled the game, United were poor. Then the second half kicks off and we looked like we'd had a bit of a rocket because it wasn't massively different, but it was noticeably better, wasn't it? You said it straight away, right?
Yeah, no, we all said it while the game was going on about the pressing and us being too deep, and we give comparisons of Brighton now. When they're pressing our back four, how every single there's seven or eight players going into press in a pack, and I think. For us, you must have had a rollicking or whatever, and it started to become more. They started to more have a go, but it didn't really seem to get into full flow until the goal. The goals come from the press, which is what the manager wants, and I think it's come through there. They've done really well to get the ball and then get the Ronaldo great touch, great finish, brilliant, showing real class. But then they started, pressing and it was good, but then towards the end it just went a little bit dead again. It just went the game. Just
the red card was a
out.
big moment in the game, obviously in any game when there's a red card. But do you think that was a harsh red card? Because initially it was a yellow. The question was, could Elanga have got to the ball before their covering defender got back? Because I don't know when the rule changed, but the word you used to hear a lot was last man. And now it's clear goal scoring opportunity. So you don't necessarily have to be, there doesn't necessarily have to be no one after that, but it's whether Elanga would have got to that ball first. It felt a bit harsh watching it, but it was overturned for a red card. Do you think that was the right decision? And do you think, that was basically what killed the game?
It was the right decision, I think, because as you said, as the rule changed and it said it's now a denial of a goal scoring opportunity. Yeah. Anthony Elanga gets to that ball, irrespective, he pulls him back.
Yeah,
right?
He does, yeah.
He gets to that ball if he doesn't get pulled back. Because Elanga's pace to get from the right-hand side to press him was mint, right? He gets there. If Dunk doesn't pull him back, he's not clean through because you didn't see it on the review. There was still a centre-half just out of shot. But the referee's decision was to then, is it a goal-scoring opportunity? And did he deny it? In pulling back, absolutely. Black and white, it was a goal-scoring opportunity.
Yeah.
Doesn't, like you said, don't matter about last man anymore.
No.
So I don't think it was harsh, especially with some of the clankers that have been dropped on us in terms of decisions that we've had in the past few games.
When people say, it evens itself out, that might be a bit of that. Like, some of the goals we've had disallowed where you go, that shouldn't have been disallowed. To me, that was harsh, but again, based on, like you're saying, the rule in its definition, he probably stops Elanga getting to that ball first, and if Elanga gets to it first, it's a goal-scoring opportunity.
He's took his touch,
15 yards out.
Ants took his touch, and then obviously he's brought him down, so obviously, out of shot, and like you said, Jordan, he's out of shot, and the other guys took him round and stuff like that, but I thought it was harsh at the time, and you agreed, Joe, but in the grand scheme of things, he probably was the right decision.
Yeah. You see some of the stats there, United turning those stats around. I think Brighton had 3 shots on target at the end of the first half, no more in the second half. Welbeck had a decent header, but even taking away the chances or lack of shots specifically, one worrying thing is we were hanging on a bit at the end. And I know we're lacking confidence and we've had these 3 1-1s in a row, all of which we were leading in those games. But is it still slightly concerning that, yes, it's 2-0, but that game was 1-0 with us hanging on up until 10 seconds before the end of the game? Does that bother you? This isn't like a 2-0 home and dry, let's take our foot off the gas. This is shit, it's 1-0. They look better than us, and we happen to score a goal on the counter-attack at the end.
The biggest word, Joe, is confidence. Because in the first half, our press was non-existent, right? I said it during the watch-along. Why does it then take a positive like a goal to then get this team to press? Because the second that we scored the goal, the team were running about all the pitch. You've never seen them so high with the numbers that they had, that Brighton were doing in the first half. Yeah. It's such a confidence thing, because why does it take that group of players to then go, shit, we pressed off the first goal, so why don't we just do it again? But why aren't you thinking like that at 0-0? 2 minutes into the game or 3 minutes into the game,
so easily demoralised. Yeah, they're scared and they get demoralised so easy. All Brighton had to do was press a little bit, and we just went. Our confidence was started off here. Great chance by Sancho, and then Brighton looked good. Oh, Brighton looked good. Oh, these are quite good. These got. And next thing you know, they're fucking dominated. They're taking over, and that's just not something that can be allowed to happen. And I don't know if that's a personnel thing. I don't know whether it is just a confidence thing. Whether these players could theoretically be better than this, but we've seen for many years now a good core group of this team consistently have that thing where you go, the confidence doesn't seem to go in week by week. It goes minute by minute with these players. And definitely. That's too inconsistent. That's too sporadic. You've got to have players that have rigidity to their character. And we don't have that. We have players, like you said, are riding on waves and peaks and troughs given to them by the opposition. So if we get a goal given to us, we're good, aren't we? Look how good we are. But if they press us, shit, it's too much. It's
worrying?
Weak mentality.
What's worrying for me as well is, and I know it's happening in the last few games as well, the ruthlessness in front of goal. I think, we're creating chances. Ronaldo's 2 headers, force a great save. But if it goes either side of the goalkeeper, it's a great header, great goal.
Second one got to do
better. Yard out, got to do better. Bruno's one where it's come across to him. The keeper's, made a good save, but it's a right height for him. He should be scoring. And, in the previous games, we've had chances and clear-cut chances, and you need to put them to bed. I hate to go on about other clubs, but they just seem to just take the chances. They're ruthless. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we should never, ever be in a situation where we're all us three are going, oh, fuck's sake, what's going on here? Like, we've controlled, obviously, the mass majority of the chances in the second half, shots-wise and everything like that. We should never be in that position with the chances that we had. No. But, great thinking by Paul Pogba, quick free kick. Bruno drives, great decision-making, 40 messed it up, but the keeper sort of went down and he slotted it home, and it was just a big sigh of relief. 2-0. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the worrying thing though. That it was a big sigh of relief because towards that last 15-minute period, Brighton were dominating almost as if they were in the first half because we were under the cosh against a team with 10 men at Old Trafford at home, and they're putting balls in.
It's a mid-table team with 10 men. This isn't like it's the second leg against Atletico and they're pushing to stay in the tie. This is a ninth place Brighton that are coming to Old Trafford. We're 1-0 up and they're holding the ball for the final minutes of the game to try and get an equaliser. That's poor.
It wasn't convincing either because remember that shot that the Brighton, I think he was a central midfielder or the winger had. He shoots and eats the crossbar. Yeah. We're all sat there going, we can't. Surely not against these with 10 men.
Yeah.
It was seconds after you said that line and he hit the crossbar, and it's thinking we can't be, as I said before, riding on waves of confidence, thinking we need to kill the game, but we can't because we ain't got the ruthlessness. The ruthlessness came with the confidence.
Yeah.
But they weren't confident until the second half. After they pressed, and it worked once, because they tried to press and nothing happened. They thought Brighton have been better at us in the first half at pressing in every sort of department. So we were like, as you said, oh shit, I can't press because these are a lot better at it. And we're in the cosh here. 60% possession for Brighton at Old Trafford in the first half is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. But then the confidence came after we scored the first goal, which is annoying because it should be there anyway. Chances came, but the ruthlessness wasn't there, and that's something that needs to switch that ASAP, and that should be there throughout, not just sporadically in little periods and waves.
Well, Razia, who's been a member for 2 months, says, this is an inverted game of our recent games. Poor first half, only played well after we score. We kept a clean sheet and scored more than one goal. It was a sort of everything else has been make loads of chances, score early and then concede. This was don't make any chances, look shit, score late and don't concede. It was like
it's a funny one.
We're just swinging all over the place at the minute, aren't we?
When it comes down to the way the manager wants us to play, he wants us to play with a high press. And, when you see Brighton in the first half, they're making it very difficult for us to play.
Yeah.
And we're talking about, waiting for the Atletico game or whatever. If we play like that against them in terms of the press off the ball, we're going to get our ass handed to us, you know what I mean?
Well, on that point, Danny Shields says, if we keep playing like this, we're losing every match in March. Not taking chances is killing us. 4 clear chances in the first half and nothing to show as bad as we were. Up the Paddock and up the RH. Just on Danny that, then, those games in March, obviously we've still got Leeds and Atletico to play in February and Watford. But the games in March that he's talking about there, it's City, Tottenham, Atletico, Liverpool. That's Manchester United's March. Doesn't get any more difficult than
very
that.
Difficult.
The 2 best teams in England, the Spanish holders,
League of Champions,
and then Tottenham. But that's pretty tricky, and we need to start being more ruthless than that if we are going to. And let's have a look at the league table there. As you can see, United currently 4th. Spurs and Arsenal both played 3 games less than us, and we're 4 points behind, 4 points ahead of Arsenal, and 7 points ahead of Tottenham. Wolves have played 2 less than us, and Chelsea have played 1 less than us. So I don't think we're going to catch Chelsea. Hopefully Wolves, would go on the same. Hopefully Wolves won't, beat us on goal difference and go ahead of us. But we're certainly there or thereabouts, aren't we? And I wouldn't trust Arsenal to win all 3 of their games, and I wouldn't trust Spurs to win all 3 of theirs based on recent form. Surprisingly, we still are in with a shout at top 4 here, aren't we? Even though we've been pretty poor for quite a while.
It is surprising, Joe, because we're becoming overly reliant on other teams slipping up, and that isn't how it should be.
Yeah.
We need to be going into these games favourable compared to the ones that we have in March. Your Leeds, your Watford, even Atletico in the first leg. Build up confidence, so when you get to that point, you're not thinking, oh, we'll be pressing half-assed and then get worried if someone else does it back to us because we're scared of conceding.
Yeah.
Go full out on every single game and show why teams should be scared coming to Old Trafford instead of thinking,
I don't know if they've got it in them. I don't know if they've got it in them. I think they're too mentally fragile for that. I don't think they've got the confidence to do that. Like you said about confidence, I don't think they dare run and work like that. I think they're scared.
It's scary that we're saying that because it doesn't matter. I know it might sound like a broken record here. It doesn't matter about your football and ability. The lads should be giving 110%. They should be running the backsides off pressing and working at it. It doesn't matter how good you are. Them lads' fitness levels, they're training day in, day out at the intensity that the manager wants them to. They should be just working the backsides off. And we're seeing it. It creates chances. If you're pressing in areas where you're forcing mistakes, can lead to chances, lead to goals. You don't even have to dominate games. Like, you know, Atletico might dominate possession, but if we press in areas and score 2 goals and win the game 2-0, happy days.
Yeah, we saw that against PSG a few years ago. Didn't we, really? Ronald Jacob with a super chat says, the only positive is Ronaldo and Bruno scoring, and Pogba, even when injured, is still getting his 8th assist of the season. I'm willing to sell Maguire for a big bag of salted peanuts any takers. No one wants this fridge. On the Pogba point, I'm someone that's criticised him recently just because I know he's leaving. I'm sick of this whole back and forth thing. But he was brilliant when he came on.
He was brilliant.
And he's going to be massively important for the rest of the season if we are going to, first of all, get top 4 and, you know, try and get past Atletico, and who knows after that. He was good today, wasn't he, when he came on?
He was. And I think it shows that the difference in class he has in the centre of the park as an 8 is strength on the ball, his skill in tight areas for a 6'3" lad. We've seen it all before. We know he can do it. It's always a talk about his consistency. But as you say, his quick thinking at the right moment worked, benefited because we got another goal to completely kill the game off, even if it was like the 95th minute or whatever. But he's going to be instrumental. And I'm happy that he sort of didn't start him upon the 2-0 win, obviously, because we were all saying, oh, can he play 4 games after 3 months out? He played 3 games, which is obviously a struggle for him because he's just come back off such a long time on the sidelines and played 3 games. He'd been brought off, I think, maybe once or twice in those games. But you've seen it, his quick thinking, his distribution, his strength in midfield as an 8, he's going to be instrumental, especially in those big games. And we need to make sure that he's fit come that March congested fixture list.
Yeah, definitely.
I think on that, like, you know, he was just pure managing his fitness, managing his, you know, injury prevention and stuff like that. But like George just said, you can tell his class. Like his second touch was the through ball to Bruno, where he just delays. Like, he's just the calmness, the composure. Like his selection of passing, he's just different to Fred and McTominay's. Just the fact that his selection of pass, like I said, everything's nice and calm and composed. I know some United fans are like, sometimes he's over. He's a bit laboured and he's a bit too like relaxed or whatever. But that game there, that's perfect for someone like that to come onto.
Yeah.
Just to get on the ball. Like, he's so brave. He's getting on the ball all the time. And like you said, for the second goal, the quick thinking. Some players there, you're 1-0 down. You know, you're under the cosh. They might think, right, lads, like, calm it down. Him forward thinking, boom, there you go, Bruno, 2-0, game over.
Yeah.
Like, some players might not, you know, want to make that pass.
It's an easy route, don't they?
Just want to calm it down and, you know, regroup. Maybe De Gea gets on it, everyone pushes up the pitch. But no, not him. He wants to play, and thanks for the second goal, you know what I mean?
Yeah, good stuff from Paul Pogba. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. It's a bit of a stupid question, really, but because we've talked about the weaknesses and the problems in the game. But let's have a look at some positives, because obviously we've won 2-0. Can this be a bit of a springboard for Ronaldo, for, you know, just the team generally, where we can keep a clean sheet, we can go on and get a second goal after scoring a first, even if it took them being down to 10 men and, you know, a counter-attack in the last second. But how do we use this, and instead of going, we won 2-0 and then we drew 1-1 again, how do we use this to push on now? Because like you said, those games in March, what we've got 15 days, 14 days, we need to have a bit more form behind us to get through those than we currently have.
Yeah, you need to build a momentum, and I think the next 3 games are perfect for it. They should be up for Leeds, the rivalry that we have with them. They should be up for that game, right? Atletico Madrid, it's a round of 16 Champions League knockout tie. You tell me they're not going to be up for that. Yeah. Watford embarrassed us. Yeah. Was it at Vicarage Road last time? They need to be getting redemption there. It's a congestion of 3 really good games to go into that difficult period.
Yeah.
And as you say, the positives they can take from that is that when they do press and they show a little bit of fearlessness, it does come off more often than none. Yeah. But they just need to do it more and more often. And it is that word I keep referring to as confidence. Yeah. Because they've seen that it can work. Once they make the mistakes, they can be then animalistic and then punish the teams who are making the mistakes for making the mistakes.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It just needs to be built from within.
As well,
it needs to be built from within, and I hope that Rangnick can sort of. He must have said something in the halftime team talk, because I questioned whether he'd have been ruthless, and I know you were saying it'll cut deep what he's saying to him because they've been performing pants in that first half. Yeah. So hopefully they can build that confidence based off just that. They kept a clean sheet, and I know De Gea had an absolute worldy save to keep the clean sheet. Good. They had chances, but it's a clean sheet and it's a win. So just build it off there. Let the foundation do the work.
Yeah, we've had a bit of bad luck in recent weeks and a bit of good luck today, maybe. A few of the chances that
it's got to kick on now.
Yeah, definitely. Right, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, Ryan.
No problem.
Thank
Pleasure,
you,
mate.
Jordan. Where can people find you, Jordan?
George Simpson __ on Instagram.
George Simpson __ and Ryan.
RH_elite coaching.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Follow,
hit
follow,
the subscribe button if you want already. Follow these two on social media. And thank you very much to everyone for watching. Manchester United 2, Brighton 0. A much needed goal for Ronaldo. A much needed clean sheet for Manchester United. A little bit of confidence, hopefully. Although those last 10 minutes didn't make me entirely sure of that. But United have won. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you in a bit.
Yeah.